So guys, in continuation to where we actually stop at question number 10. Now we have question number 11 here, which says the supply and demand function of a commodity are given as this. Can you interpret this function for? If I want to interpret this question, it simply means this function here. This function simply means I have a supply equation such that Q is the subject of the formula. You actually have a supply equation whereby you make Q the subject of the formula from that supply equation. That's what we have here. Here in this case, it's just as if we have a demand equation, then we already make Q the subject of the formula. That's QD, and this is QS. So we have QS, we have QD. We now say this question now says if an excise tax of T is imposed, then the selling price and quantity sold in terms of T at the equilibrium point is what? So what they are looking for, what they ask you to find out is what I think is that's to look for the selling price and the quantity sold in terms of T. That's the question. Okay, that's to look for the selling price and the quantity sold in terms of T. Guys, you see this question? This particular question is very, very unique. Very, very unique. It's in your tutorial manual, but I'm very, very sure just less people. I'm not sure that majority of all people have solution to this question that is here. But the final answer is actually stated in a particular textbook like that. People have the final answers, but the workings, I'm not sure whether majority of you guys have the workings to this solution. But don't worry, I'll make sure I try my possible best to explain this thing clearly to you. Now, listen attentively. But this particular question that we actually have there, it says, um, let me just put it this way. Under this topic, which we always refer to as excise tax, I want to take note of this. Under excise tax, there's a particular definition that you must know, which states that um, QS QS of PT minus the tax itself is always equal to QD of PT. This is a definition that you must know at all costs, at all time. Anytime you hear the word excise tax, see, this type of question appears twice. It's in question number 11, and I think it's also in question number 40 something or so. Okay, this kind of question. Anytime you come across any question based on excise tax, please remember this definition. The supply, from the supply equation, when you make use of the formula and then you substitute whatever you have in terms of PT minus the tax itself, it is always equals to the when you have a demand equation whereby you make use of the formula and then you actually express it in terms of PT. Okay, this is the price of the excise tax. Price, the PT, and this is the excise tax itself. T. So I think when you look at this final answer now, the final answer is in terms of the excise tax itself. And if an excise tax of T, this T represents an excise tax. So that means whatever I want to do now is to find Q. I notice that Q is equals to this and P is equals to what I have here. I have 3 over 4 plus 3 over 4T and 5 minus 3T. So how can you actually solve questions like this? To solve this one, it's going to take a little time. Now let me show you something that is related to this question that is there, or this number 11. Don't know whether you can actually next that. Let me try to next. Come. I want us to check the page 2 of this past question. This is the page 2 now. You see question on another excise tax around here. Let me show you. What is the question here? See question number 49. Okay, number 49. We have supply equation. This is it here. and we have demand equation. See it here. What price will the consumer end up paying for each of unit of the commodity? See this one here, question number 49. And at the same time, see it is even circuit. So that means the solution might not be available, but they know the final answer. This question is inside one big textbook like that, one financial mathematics textbook also. But it is not solved. They did not solve it. But the final answer is at the back of the textbook. So that was how people was able to detect that this is the correct answer. So do you understand? So, but don't worry, I'll make sure I explain it clearly. I'll make sure I explain it clearly. So let me just go back to question number 1. So to solve this kind of question, what I asked you guys to do is I asked you guys to take note of this definition. Where is it? This is it. For an excise tax, the supply equation or the supply function here is always equals to the demand function, whereby the supply function must always be in terms of PT minus T, but your demand function will always be in terms of just PT only, and that's all. So what is QS? QS is given to us as what? If you look at the question, we have our QS, our supply function given to us as this. The QS, sorry, let me take a pen. I don't know why this is question. Let me use another color for that. I have my QS. QS is given to us as 12P minus 4, and then QD is given to us. You notice that QD is in terms of P, have you? They already put P, they put something like P there. Okay. This simply implies that if you have P here, it simply implies that whatever you have here, whatever variables you have here, must always be in terms of P. No, you must not have any other letter. It must always be with respect to that P. Here in this case too. So this is what we are given for the first one and for the second one, guys. So when you get to this point, what are you going to do? I just said something and I said you have to express QS in terms of PT minus T. So when I look at this thing clearly now, I have this as 12P minus 4, right? And then that means if I want to look for QS of PT minus T, that means wherever I see P, I will substitute it as PT minus T. And I will write, that means instead of writing 12P, I will have this P, I will just open a bracket and then insert P raised to the power of T minus T inside it. So that's how it's going to work in that case. And for this one too, which is QD of P, that means wherever I see P, I will insert P raised to the power of T inside this equation that I actually have here. So this is for question number 11, still on question number 11. Okay. Now, when you look at this now, how are we going to look for this? That means if I want to look for this definition that says QS of P raised to the power of T, so you have to master this definition. Please master this definition. I have my reason for that. Then this is QD of P raised to the power of T. So what are you going to do? Just like the way I've been doing functions now. So this one here simply implies okay. That means wherever I see P, I will insert it as PT minus T. So that means instead of writing 12P minus 4, instead of writing 12P minus P has already turned to what? This P has already turned to P raised to the power of T minus T. And that is for 12P, then minus 4. Done for that. Equal to what I have left now is this QD. Right? So the QD I have left now is this. So how am I going to get the QD? That means here in this case now I have this as 8 minus 4P. And P is no longer P. I have my P as P raised to the power of T in that case. Okay? So that means I will have this as 8. Instead of writing 4P, this one is not in terms of P, it's not in terms of PT. P will represent PT in this case. Now guys, what we want to look for now is to just go ahead and make PT. Make this PT the subject of the formula, and that's all. Just make this the price of the excise tax. Just make it the subject of the formula. That's going to be 12 times PT. That's 12 PT minus 12 times T. That's 12T minus 4 is equals to 8 minus 4 P raised to the power of T. So I'll collect like terms now. think I feel I should just bring this one and this one together and take the rest to the other side. Okay, take this minus 12 to the other side and take minus 4 to the other side as well. So I'll have it as 12pt. When this minus 4p raised to the power of t comes like this, I have it as plus 4p raised to the power of t equals to 8. And this comes like this, I have it as minus, sorry, if this comes like this, I have it as plus 12t, right? And this comes like this, I have it as plus 4. So what I have left now is just 12 plus 4, that is 16p raised to the power of t equals to 8 plus 4 is 12 plus 12t, right? So I'll divide both sides by 16. So the price of the exact stars that I'm looking for, that is the PT, is now equals to 12 over 16 plus 12 over 16t. So, I think 4 can go into 12 then. 4 here 3, 4 here 4, 4 here 3, 4 here 4. So the price of the exact stars that I'm looking for is now 3 over 4 plus 3 over 4t. This is my final answer. So let's check the option. So this answer here is related to option what? This is it. Is related to this option A. That's 3 over 4 plus 3 over 4t. This particular one here is the excise tax for the price, for the selling price. Do you know that they asked us to look for then the selling price and the quantity sold in terms of that excise tax is what? So what I just find now is just p raised to the power of t now. That's the selling price of the excise tax. So that's the first answer. That's for this one. So how do you get, do you know you can actually get 5 minus 3t? So you don't need to stress yourself for that. There's another definition for that one too. So I don't want to stress you guys, okay? I don't want to stress you guys. So just, if you can actually detect, if you can actually get the one for the excise tax for price, which is this, there's no need for you to stress yourself for the other one. So just go ahead and pick option A is correct for that. So I hope that is clear. I don't think I have any other option that has 3 over 4 plus 3 over 14. So do you guys have any question for that? Any question based on what I've explained so far? Please, this is the definition that you need to follow. This one here. You need to follow this. Okay. So any question? Or do you still want me to look for the other one? No, this is for the selling price. The selling price, I have it as this. But I still have to find the quantity sold in terms of T as well. So if I want to for that one as well, you can. But let's just go ahead and pick option A for that. So do you have any question? Can I proceed? Hello guys, are we still together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So let's just continue. So for question number 12, the equilibrium market price and quantity. Do you remember what you are going to do? Simultaneous equation. Okay. Same thing, this simultaneous equation for this one. I have this as 2q plus p equals to 9. And I have q minus 3p is equals to 1. So just use your calculator to solve this one. And then you get the answer. Okay. Multiply this one by 1. Multiply this one by 2. The quotient of q. Okay. So then I'll have it as 2q plus p is equals to 9. So will give us 2q minus p times 2 minus 3p times 2. That's minus 6p. 1 times 2 is 2. Then you put minus here. This will cancel this. P minus minus 6p. That's p plus 6p, and that's 7p. Is equals to 9 minus 2. That's 7. So if I divide both sides by 7, p is equals to 1. So let's check the options. P is equals to 1. But take note, they asked to look for, what they asked to look for here? They said, what is this question? Find the equilibrium market price and quantity respectively. Price come first. That means my price is 1. For this question, I got my price to be 1. My price is 1. Can you see that this option D, option C is not correct though? Because my price is not 4. Price first, then quantity follows. So you have to read the statement clearly. The equilibrium price and quantity respectively. So that means the first answer you got is for price. That means price is 1. And if you do for the other one, If you solve for q, q minus 3p is equals to 1. Q minus 3 times my p is already 1. That's q minus 3 is equals to, that's q is equals to 1 plus 3, that's 4. So I have this as 1,4. So I think that is correct in that case. Okay, so that's for that. So let me quickly move straight to the next one, which is number 13. I hope you are following. Are we still together? Are we still
Yes,
together?
sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes. All right. So I want us to quickly solve this last question. This last question, what do you notice? Looking at this last question, now, it says the rule that says if h of x, and the furthest I've already explained, you see, the rule says the rule that says h of x is equals to a function up, and you have another function down. Then h prime of x is equals to, which says h prime means differentiate h now. That's what it means. That is dh over dx. Which says you now have the upper part prime, the down part minus the down part. What am I saying? Vu prime minus Vu prime minus u, the, the upper part. I think this is the opposite of, I don't know how to explain this, but don't worry. Over g of x all squared. Which rule says h prime is equals to this expression? Is it sum rule, product rule, or quotient rule, or chain rule? Can you give an answer to that? Do you understand why it is quotient rule? Or you want me to explain?
It's quotient rule.
It's quotient rule because I already said if you have a function in terms of a fraction, okay, and then you want to find the derivative, you always use quotient rule. That was the thing I stated. So it's quotient rule, so you don't need to be confused at all. This thing is still something that's saying, this is our u and this is our v. So I noticed that what they have done here is v u prime abi minus u v prime. U prime v is still something as v u prime. Abi now, what's ab? What's b? Are they not the same thing? A times b is ab. B times a is still ab. So they are the same. So if you write u prime v or v u prime, it's still the same thing. Okay. So I think that's quotient rule. That's sorted out. So it seems we are moving. So let's quickly go straight to the next part. The next part here is find the derivative of. Now we have another quotient. Oh, I should have not said anything. This is another quotient true. No problem. Number 14. Find derivative of g of x is equals to 4 minus 3x over 2 plus x. This is also quotient true, Abi. I'll call this one my u, and I'll call this down part my v. So my u is equals to 4 minus 3x. V is equals to 2 plus x. Remember that in that formula, I need u prime and I need v prime. If I differentiate 4, the answer is 0. If I differentiate minus 3x, there's an invisible 1 up here. 1 times 3, that is 3. Then x is to the power of 1 minus 1, 0. That's 1 minus 1. So I agree that you know that this one will give us 0. So my u prime will just be equals to minus 3. Because anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. So if this becomes 1, you multiply it by minus 3, you have minus 3 left. And as for this one, differentiate 2, that's 0. Differentiate x, if I differentiate x, that is 1. Do you know how it is 1? Because I have x is to the power of 1 and I want to differentiate. There's an invisible 1 here. 1 times 1 is 1. X is to the power, we remove 1 from the power, right? Now I have 1 x is to the power of 0, then 1 times 1, but this one is already 1. Now I have it as 1. So my v prime is 1, my u prime is minus 3. So if I want to look for the derivative of this g, which is g prime of x, the formula will be vu prime minus uv prime over v squared. That's quotient rule. So when I substitute those values, v is what? V is 2 plus x. U prime is what? Minus 3. U is what? 4 minus 3x. And V prime is what? 1. All over V squared. What's V? 2 plus x. See it up here. These are V. They square it. So if I open up this bracket, 2 times minus 3 minus 6 minus 3x minus 4 plus 3x. Minus times 4 is minus 4. Minus times minus 3x is plus 3x all over 2 plus x squared. So minus 3x plus 3x will cancel. That's 0. So I'm left with minus 6 minus 4. That is minus 10. That is minus 10 over 2 plus x all squared. So this is our final answer. Guys, I noticed one thing. I've been taking students so far since over 3 years now. And I noticed that most of the students used to come outside from the exam hall. They used to, I think they used to give me some feedback. 3 students once told me that they repeated this question. This question here. For Mat104 exam, they used to repeat this question very well. In the exam, I mean the exam, main exam. So I remember there are 3 different students once told me that they saw the same question, like minus 10 over, stuff like that. So please take note. So the case if you come across this kind of question again. And do you know the funniest thing? This question is in your tutorial manual. So that's why there's high chance that it might appear in your exam. So please take note of this. Next, and this one too as well. This differentiation too. It's inside your manual as well. So guys, I have y equals to x plus. This is fifth root of x squared. Number 15. Y is equals to x plus fifth root of x squared. It now asks us to find dy dx. Find dy dx. So to look for dy dx of this question now, first I will need to evaluate. Let me simplify this. If I have fifth root of x squared, I can write it as x. Then I will take this 2 and this 5 as a fraction. Take note. 2 over 5. That's the law of indices. In indices, indices says if you have nth root of x to the power of, let's say, a, then automatically is equals to x to the power of the fraction of what you have inside and what you have outside the root. Okay? So that's what I've done here, 2 over 5. So then let's find dy over dx. If I differentiate this one, what will I have? This is 1. There's a visible 1. 1 times 1 is 1. And x is power of 1 minus 1 is 0. Let's differentiate this one. There's an invisible 1 here. 2 over 5 times 1. 2 over 5. And I have x. And I have 2 over 5. But I must subtract 1. So 1 times, this one is 1. I have 1 plus, this is 2 over 5. This is x. This is 2 over 5 minus 1. What was 2 over 5 minus 1? LCM 5, 2 minus 5. That is minus 3 over 5. If I'm not mistaken. So that's minus 3 over 5. So let's check the options and see how it looks like before we simplify that. For the options now, check. Okay, I already have 1, but I have this as plus. Is it plus I have in my own to plus, Abby? But I can see 2 over 5, but I don't know. That means looking at this expression here, that means I have to evaluate what I have here. In indices, if you have something of x to the power of minus, let's say minus a over b, do you know what it means? It means this negative index, this power of minus, this minus itself means 1 over. Please take note. This power, this index, negative index, it means 1 over. So that means I've used this minus. What do I have left? X is power of a minus b. So that's what you do here also. You apply it here also. This negative index, this power of minus, it simply implies 1 over. So what do I have left? I've used this minus as 1 over. What I have left now is just x 3 over 5. So then that will be equals to 1 plus 2 over 5 times 1 over. This is x 3 over 5. I can give it a twist backward of, I can twist it back by writing it as x here. Since I have a fractional index, the numerator will remain inside, the denominator will remain outside. I think that was what I did initially. I mean now, I did explain it here. 5 outside, 2 outside, you can write like this. So if you take a step backward, okay, just like the way I have 2 over 3, I think 3 over 2. Just like the way I have 3 over 5 here. I take a step backward, I'll have it as root and x is power of 3 or 5 outside. I think this is what we have in the option. We have this as 1 plus 2 over 5, then fifth root of x is to the power of 3. This is what we have in the option. So let's check the option again. Can you see that? 1 plus 2 over 5, then fifth root of x cubed. So option B is correct. This is for option B. Is correct. So guys, let me quickly rub this off. Oh, it's not easy. Next. Sorry, please, I'm coming. I want to rub this off. Guys, we have the next question here. I think we are moving closer now. Question number 16. Guys, elasticity of cost is always defined as what? Under elasticity, I want you to take note of this explanation. Under elasticity, elasticity is always denoted as this, something like this, like in n format, a curly n. Okay, just like an n, okay, a curly n in that case. This is how we denote elasticity. If you try to find, and it has its own formula, but let me state its formula first. The formula is equal to price over commodity times, when I use dot, it means times, times change in commodity with respect to what? Change in what? Price. That is the formula for elasticity. I repeat, elasticity is equals to the price of a quantity or price of a commodity all over that commodity times change in the commodity with respect to change in what? In the price. It's taken to this formula. You will need it. This one. You might need it back. And you can't even escape something like this in exam. You can't. The calculation, the formula, the definition, you usually come across it. So I think we don't just call it elasticity. I think it's just elasticity of cost. So elasticity of cost is defined as the ratio of the quantity. Okay, I think the ratio of the quantity demanded of a good or service to the ratio to change in its cost. I think it's just normal definition. But let me check the second definition. Rate of change of cost to that of marginal cost. No, we can't use marginal cost. The ratio of the quantity sold of a good service, of a good or service to change in its cost. I think this option C is quite similar to that of option A. Let me check the difference. This is the ratio of the quantity demanded, but this one is the ratio of the quantity sold. No, you can't use quantity sold. That means quantity demanded is still the best statement there. You can't use the statement quantity sold in that case. Rate of change of price to that of marginal. We are not dealing with marginal revenue in elasticity. No, we're not dealing with that. Okay. So option A, just take note of this definition, please. When they ask you to find elasticity of cost, and I'm very sure this definition is not in your manual. Elasticity of cost, I'm not sure that it is there. But please take note of this definition. Is what you can actually reason with at the end of the day. Okay? Elasticity of cost is the ratio of the quantity demanded of a good or services or service to change in its cost. Okay? That is elasticity of cost. Let me just say elasticity of cost. Let me just call it NC. If I use it that way, it will not really make any sense. It's a function. Let me just use elasticity of subscript C of cost is equals to the ratio. That means I have something up here and I have another thing down there, right? Of the quantity demanded, that's Q, right? Of a good or services to change in its cost. To change in cost. That's all. Okay? That's the definition you have to follow. Is that clear? Because since all this while we have been saying quantity demanded, quantity demanded. So why we use this statement quantity sold? No, no. Instead of using the word quantity sold, I prefer to use supply in this case. Supply goods, not you go ahead and use this kind of statement quantity sold. I think this looks somehow odd. So option A is correct. So guys, I think we are moving closer to all those cost functions a little bit. I still have to say something under this elasticity because we are still going to use this formula. Even though if we not use it in this first page, I think for the second page, you also see it there. This question appears there. So guys, there's another thing we need to take note. After solving this question, let's say you already know your P. Let's say the price is 5 naira, and then you started 5 naira here, and let's say you have a commodity given to you, and then you try to substitute it, and then let's say you now end up having 20 here, and then you differentiated this one, and then inserted the value for P, blah blah blah. Let's now say you solve everything together, and then if you now notice that your answer, if your N, the elasticity of demand, if it is less than 1, if your N is less than 1, it is inelastic. Please take note. It's inelastic. But if your elasticity is greater than 1, okay, then we say it is what? It is elastic. But what if the elasticity is now equal to 1? It is what? We call it unitary. Unit means 1. So it's unitary. Okay? If it's less than 1, what do I mean by it is less than 1? After solving this N, let's now say I got my N to be equal to 0.25. So if I now ask you, is this thing elastic or inelastic? Automatically speaking, this is inelastic. Why? Because 0.25 is less than 1, and it falls here. What if I end up solving this question after using the formula, and I now have my N to be equal to 4.5? So what happens? That means it's elastic. What if I end up solving this question and I now have my N to be equal to 1? So what happens? That means it is what? It is unitary. I think that's all I have to explain on that is elasticity. That's all you need. The formula and these conditions. If there's any other thing, I will let you know. So let's quickly move straight to the next question. Number 17 says, if an object moves along a line so that this border here, which is y equals to 4x squared minus 2x, at time x, x is in seconds, time x, that means x is also representing t, something like that. Okay, at time x, that means the time given to us is 2. That means wherever I see x, I'll put 2. I repeat, we are given an equation at time x, and x is in seconds. Now the later gave us the value for x for the time. Okay, and that means x is 2. So find the instantaneous velocity function f prime of x. This is what I'm going to do. An object moves along a line. This is distance. This formula for distance. I don't want to, it's not really your. I didn't know science now. I'll just go ahead and break this down because I want to call this one f prime of f of x direct. I want to call this one f of x, but I don't want to stress you. See, you want to look for the instantaneous velocity function. Guys, just go ahead and differentiate this one. Just call this your f of x. Just call it f of x. So to look for instantaneous velocity function, they have already given you the pattern. They said differentiate that f of x, f prime. Just look for f prime of x. This f prime of x will give us the instantaneous what? Velocity that we are looking for. Simple as ABC. I repeat, just call this guy here. Call this one your f of x, your function in terms of x. Okay, so in order to look for instantaneous velocity, that means you have to just differentiate it. So differentiate 4x squared. What would that give you? 2 times 4, 8. Remove 1 from here. That's 2 minus 1, 1. Differentiate 2x. There's an invisible 1 here. 1 times 2 is 2. Then x is power of 1 minus 1, 0. What would that give us? 8x minus x is power of 0 is 1. 8x minus 2. Then you stop. And obtain the velocity at time t is equals to 2. That means time t equals to 2. It's still saying x is equals to 2. Because you already said x is in seconds. So x can still take the 2. So what will I have? That means I will have 8 times x is 2 minus 2. That is 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 2, that's 14. Is 14 in the option? Let's check. Yes. 14 meter per second. That's the unit for velocity is meter per second. So that's how it works. So guys, I think we are moving. We are moving. But this time is just moving so fast. This one not common too. Hold on. So guys, we have question numbers. What question? 18 now. Question number 18 says, hey guys, take note. We are already in those. We have gotten to those parts whereby we have total cost, marginal cost, and all those rubbish. So the total cost per day. Before I even start with anything, please take note of this condition too for all these stuffs. We have what we call cost. Cost is represented as we write it as C of X. This is how we represent it. You can call it total cost. The total cost is capital C of X. If they did not put total cost, if it's ordinary cost, it's still the same thing. We also have what we call revenue. You must understand all these terminologies, okay, before you start solving all these questions. We also have what we call revenue. Revenue is always written of this format, R of X. And we also have what we call profit. We also have what we call profit. Profit is always represented as P of X. You can also call it total revenue or total profit. Now, since you understand all these terminologies, what are the conditions, the definitions that you must know? Total profit, always remember that total profit is always equals to total revenue minus total cost. Always remember at all time. That is, P of X is always equals to R of X minus what? The cost. Please take note of this. Very, very important. Is that clear? It's very, very important. You must always remember profit is equals to revenue minus cost. Profit is equals to revenue minus cost. What is revenue itself? Revenue has its own formula itself. Revenue is always equals to the the quantity demanded times the commodity. Okay, QX. So I don't want to use that bracket. There's a particular formula you must know for this revenue. Revenue is always equals to QS. Always remember, there's a reason for that. This is the definition for revenue. Quantity times the commodity X. Okay. And then we also have another thing entirely under this. I think I want to remember. We also have average cost. Formula for average cost. After cost, we also have what we call average cost, AC. Average cost is always equals to the cost function divided by X. Okay? The cost function divided by X. Just divide the same cost function that you have here. Just divide by X. That's all. So guys, you can screenshot that or maybe you should jot it. That's very important. But if you don't jot it, it's still inside the solution. You see it inside that PDF I sent to you guys. It's there. Check the last page. You scroll down. I've decided to write it out in a particular page. So just check the last page. You see it there. What's going on with this? I want to clear this off now. Why? teacher Papa. Let me clean this first. So guys, let's go back to the next question. So um so here in this case we have the total cost per day C of X. C of X for manufacturing windscreen is given to us as 3 plus 10x. So we see, don't let me lie to you. All these things are very, very simple. All this total cost, everything. It will just take you one line, two line, you get your answer. We are given a total cost function of this format. Now say find C4.
Sir, I don't hear you. Save it from the. What's that? What's something? It's about I think.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Sorry for the network glitch. My modem actually stopped exactly 10. That's why. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So okay, sorry for that. Let me quickly share my screen. so that I don't want to waste your time. So don't worry, like I promised, I said I'm going to work on the pre-recorded video. I'll make sure I create another video entirely and I'll send it to you guys. Okay, I have a way I used to do that, so I'll just send it to you guys. Um, I need to share my screen now. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have hold on, it's still loading. What's taking it so long? Should I try the app? So it's still loading, okay? I think it's coming up now. The app service. So guys, we are still on this question here, which is question number 18. It says the total cost per day. We have it as 3 plus 10x minus s squared. We now said find C4 minus C3 over 4 minus 3. That means if I want to look for C4, that means anywhere I see X, I'll just insert 4. Insert 4 here. Okay. If you want to look for C3, you do the same thing. This is what I'm saying. For C4, that means I'll have it as 3 plus 10 times 4. That means X is 4, right? Then minus 4 squared. That will be equal to 3 plus 40. Then minus 16. That's minus 16. That's 43 minus 16. And 43 minus 16, that should be 27. Solved. Now let me look for C3 as well. C3, C3 now will now be equal to, that means anywhere I see X, I will insert 3. I'll have it as 3 plus 10 times X is 3 minus 3 squared 9. That's 3 plus 30 minus 9. And that's 33 minus 9. 33 minus 9 is 20. Am I correct with this? 43 minus 17. That's 27. This one is correct. So what is 33 minus 9? That should be 25. That should be 24. Sorry. That should be 24. So if I now want to look for, if I want to evaluate C4 minus C3 over 4 minus 3, that implies that my C4 here is 27. My C3 here is 24 divided by 4 minus 3. 1. 27 minus 24, that is 3. And this is the answer here, correct. Next one is number 19. This number 19, you have to differentiate. And it really take a lot of time. This number 19. But before I solve this number 19, I want you to answer this number 20. Number 20 says we have C of X to be the total cost. R of X is the total revenue, right? So then what is the formula for the profit function? What's total profit? I just gave you the formula. I said total profit is always equals to total revenue minus total cost. I said it. Profit is equals to revenue minus cost. Always remember. So that is P is equals to R minus C. So I think they said which one is correct among all this? See it here. That means C is correct. Okay, R minus C. C is correct. Is that clear? I also want to look for another questions on all this marginal revenue before I come back to that question number 19. Let's check number 21. Given that the total cost, we have our total cost function to be equal to 5 plus 12x, then minus x squared. Determine the marginal cost. When they say marginal cost, I think that was the first thing I explained in this class. Anytime you hear marginal cost, it simply implies differentiate that cost with respect to what? The function, the variable given to you, which is x. Anytime you hear the word marginal, just differentiate. Okay, so that means I want to differentiate this cx now. That will give me my marginal cost. So differentiate 5. Differentiate this 5, that will give us 0. Differentiate 12x, that will give us 12 times 1, that is 12. Then 1 minus 1, that is 0. Differentiate x squared. Sorry for that. That will give us 2x. So the final answer is 12x minus 2x. But is that all? No. They also said cost of production 3 units of bulbs per day. 3 units. X is the commodity unit, right? X is the commodity. That means you have 3 units of that commodity. And that means you insert this 3 units inside this x times 3. Then minus 2 times 3, if I'm not mistaken. That should be 12 times 3 is what? Oh, sorry. There's a mistake here. What's x is power of 0? That's 1 now. So this is meant to be 1. 1 times 12, that's 12. Sorry for that. Okay. There's, x is power of 0 is 1 now. So I'm supposed to be left with just 12 here. This is just ordinary 12. 12 minus 3 times 2, 6. That's 12 minus 6. I have it as what? As 6. So 6 is the correct answer to this question. I think that is fine now. Next thing for us to do. Next question, before I go back to question number 19. For this question number 22 now, we are given a profit function, see it here. P of x is given to us as 3x cubed plus 7x squared, then plus x minus 5. Calculate the marginal profit. Anything marginal, just differentiate. Marginal, just differentiate. Please take note. Marginal profit means just find p prime of x. That's marginal for you. So differentiate this 3x to the power of 3. What would that give you? That's 3 times 3, 9. Remove 1 from here, 2. 7 times 2, 14. Remove 1 from up here, 1. Differentiate x, that will give us 1. Differentiate minus 5, that will give us 0. This x here, there's an invisible 1 here. There's an invisible 1 here. 1 times 1 is 1. And s is power of 1 minus 1 is 0. So when you do that, you'll be left with just 1. So I have my marginal profit function as 9x squared plus 14x plus 1. Mind you, they said on a production level of 10 bags of cement. So the commodity is actually you have 10 units bag of cement. So that will be 9. Put 10 here, then square it. This is 14. Put 10 here, then plus 1. What would that give us? This is 1,000. Sorry, this is 100. 10 square is 100. 100 times 9, that's 900. Plus 14 times 10. 14 times 10 is 140. Then plus 1. If I add all these ones together, 900 plus 140, that's 1,040. 1,040 plus 1, that's 1,041. And this is the answer here. You see, all these things are not something like silly. I just know how to differentiate. Simple as ABC. But whenever you hear the word marginal, always remember that I say you should differentiate. Differentiate, please. Take note. Guys, for this question number 23, I will explain it in my YouTube channel, in the pre-recorded video. Because this is another topic on its own. This implicit function, implicit rule of differentiation. And I can't explain that tonight. It will take a lot of time. Okay? You can as well check that solution. I don't know. That my solution is quite explanatory. If you can just check through it and study it also, then you can go ahead with that. So what if we have, please, okay, this number 23, Just take notes. I said I will explain it in the pre-recorded video. Okay, I'll still go back to that number 19. I've not forgotten. So number 24 now is also based on all this marginal stuff. Let's check how it works. It says we are given a cost function of 800 plus 60x then minus s squared over 4. Okay, that reminds me, this question does not have, it's not correct, Sha. It's not correct. Find the marginal cost. No, you're given a cost here. You now want to look for the marginal cost, right? The marginal cost is just C prime. You differentiate now. So if I differentiate 800, what will I have? 0. And if you differentiate 60x, that will give you what? 60. In that regard, 1 times 60 is 60, s is power of 0, less is 60. Now, if I differentiate this x square over 4, I can write this x square over 4 as 1 over 4 x squared. So now let's differentiate. 2 times 1 over 4, 2 times 1 over 4, that's 2 over 4, and x is to the power of, remove 1 from there, I'll be left with 1. So that means my marginal cost function now is just 60 minus, cancel here, 1 over 2x. So this is what I have. So if I now insert level of 60 boots, at level of 60 boots, what will I have left? This is 60 minus 1 over 20. Then at level of 60 boots now, this is 60, right? If I insert 60, what am I going to have? That's 60 minus 2 year 1, 2 year 30. So I have it as 60 minus 30. 60 minus 30 is what? Is 30. So I should have 30 left. But what I noticed here is that we only have 60. So there is issue with the question. Okay, so it's meant to be 30 naira. Even though it can't be even it can't be 30 naira. They said it should be in 100. Just add 2 zeros. You know, I got 30. So you need to add 2 more zeros. Not kobo. Not kobo is in 100. So that means you need to add two zeros to it. Okay, 1, 2. So I should have 6,000. The size is meant to be 3,000 rather, not the 6,000. So there's an error in this question. That's why they did not pick anything for this number 24. So this 25 I will explain in my pre-recorded video. Same thing, this slope of a graph also I will explain as well. And what else do I have? Okay. This one too is implicit truth also as well. I will explain it in that pre-recorded video. And guys, I want you to solve this as an assignment and get back to me. Now I've added you guys to my Google Classroom. So I want you to solve this as an assignment. I don't know how busy you are, but just make sure that you try this question on your own. So I've explained something like this now. Remember that I've explained something like this for parallel line, parallel to this line. So just use that same explanation and then use it for this.
Sir,
yeah, I can hear you.
when will you drop the recorded video?
I'm going to work on the recorded video tomorrow morning. So latest before 1 p.m. tomorrow, we get it.
Okay, in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon, 1 p.m. in the afternoon.
Okay, sir.
So
Yes.
but before that 1 p.m., I will share most of my own videos. Most of my videos that I have on my YouTube. I will share it to you guys. Like that of the calculus I showed you earlier. I'll send it to the Google Classroom. What else again? I also have another solution, like solution to that your manual. I have it. Aside from this one I dropped for you guys, this one is solution to past question. I have solution to that manual for tutorial sheets 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. I repeat, tutorial sheets 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. I have the solution. So I'll also send the PDF to you guys for free. I repeat, don't send my solution anyhow. Don't go and drop it to any group anyhow. If I send it to you, let it just be with you or to any valuable friends that you have. Please and please. Okay. So that's just the best thing now. Or let me just drop the don't worry, let me just drop the PDFs now. Because it's almost 17 minutes after 10. Let me drop them.
Yeah.
So I forgot. Yeah. Olayinka, I can hear you.
The video
Please.
that you recorded this night, when are you going to collect it?
What do you say?
The
The
video
what?
that you
I can't hear
recorded
you.
this night, when are we collecting? The video.
This one.
Yes.
Okay. This video now. Hold on. I've recorded one before. I've recorded one
Yes.
before we actually come back around that 9 p.m. So I think I got a notification now. I don't know whether you guys noticed. I got a notification now that I've received the video. So I'll just drop it. Let's check it together. I think it has
Okay.
dropped already. Check. I got a notification now that the message I've entered. Just hold on. Let me see it. Okay. The video is not available yet. Let's say in the next 30 minutes. This is the meeting recording status. Might still be processing. You will be notified when it is ready. But in less than 30 minutes, I will surely receive it. Let me check this one first. This attendance. This one is attendance. But the video is still in process. No, immediately when I get the video, I will surely send it to you guys. But let me refresh. I think I got a notification just now. But for this recorded video, this class, you will get it this night. I will drop it this night. Okay? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
I'll, I'll surely drop it this night. So I think the video is not yet. They will not drop it. But in the next 30 minutes, I will surely receive it. So immediately when I get it, I will send it to you guys. So I want to send you the solution to your tutorial manual for tutorial sheet 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Like the solution is step by step, not all these not all these short solutions, step by step. So you can actually, if you know you don't have exam tomorrow, I would advise you to start looking at the solutions. If you don't understand, feel free to message me or call me or drop voice notes. Notice I don't just drop voice note for me. Okay. I will make sure I listen to it and I will reply you. Okay, that's the best thing to do because at this being your is because you can't just say you have exam next tomorrow and then you want to use just 2 days to cover up the whole course outline. It's not possible. So the most important things, the highest help I can actually render to you guys is to just give you some key points that you need. So that's why I'm doing all this. Okay. So guys, I'm about to drop the PDF now. I think I have it here. Just hold on, please. And the funnest, I was supposed to drop this solution. I used to sell it then for 2.5 or so. And that was 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago, bro. Anyways, just keep it. Like I said, just keep it. Just keep it to yourself. Because I don't really one thing about me, I don't like sharing most of my things anyhow. I prefer to share it to those I prefer to share it with serious ones. That's all. So it's already loading. Olayinka, I think
Thank you,
I've
sir.
sent it to you. I'll send it to you. Let me send it
Okay, sir.
to others as well. Please, the solution is there. Just take your time to go through them. Like tutorial sheets. Let me check again. Tutorial sheet 3, 4 is I know tutorial sheet 2 is 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. Take note. Solution to tutorial sheet 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. Okay. So I've dropped it for Olayinka. Let me drop it for others as well. Olayinka, please send it to Dami.
Okay, sir.
Send it to Dami as well. Come in, I'm coming, I'm coming. Let me just do this. I don't know why this thing is remaining. Mat104. So I've sent it to Fatima as well. Who else? Tolu. Let me send it to Tolu also. You guys will keep that solution. In fact, it's not about keeping. I want you to start studying it, even though it's this night. Because after tomorrow, forget about it. You only have one more night to go. Just one more night to study. So I'll try my own possible best. So the rest of it is left to you guys.
Okay. See you later, again.
So Tolu, I'll send it to you also. It's already loading. You get it anytime soon. Who is the next person?
That's
Okay, sir.
All right, I'm coming. I want it. I think I still have sent to So one more person. Okay, I'm coming.
Uh,
So guys, what else do I have to explain here? I think that's all. Aside from that number 19
maybe
that we
around the
don't
morning
worry, this
period.
number 19,
That's it.
this number 19, you have the cost function, but they ask us to differentiate it. That's all. If you differentiate 100, that's
That
0.
course is very, very like
If you differentiate
simple.
20q, that will give you 20. See the 20 here.
You know
If
this
you now
course, like
differentiate
you'll be
this q
watching
root
expect
1
to
plus q,
like
it will give you this
listen,
expression here.
I'll
So
eat,
don't worry, I'll explain it in that video.
listen.
I'll make sure I explain it in that video.
You can't reach
So
out, it's not
guys, I've
possible.
sent the PDF. Olaika,
Where
can
is
you hear
going,
me?
ya girl? You can
Olaika,
just
are you
make.
there?
Yes, sir. Ah, come, Daddy.
So I've sent the PDF. So do you all get it now? Is there anybody here that have not
Okay,
gotten
sir.
the PDF yet?
Yes,
Animation, have you received the PDF?
how do you know that what they're calling?
Olaika?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
Okay. Tolu Alashe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to see them.
All right. Have you sent it to Damlola as well?
Yeah, I want to send this one now. We just finished loading.
All right, do that now. So guys, my YouTube channel, you can try to check it out also. These are the videos for the differentiation, starting from here. I already shared you the link. This video is on differentiation. That's for science courses, Mat102. So it's still the same thing. It's still calculus as well. This one too. This, and this. If you know you have any issue with indices, I have videos on indices as well. See indices here. I'm coming. Let me check. I have videos on indices as well. See it here from part 1 to 8 or so. It's even more than 8. It's up to part 8. Basic concept of indices part 4. Starting from the part 1 to part 8. I have videos on indices. What else again? What else? For Mat 106. Don't worry. Mat 106. I have some videos on Mat 106 also, but let's still focus more on Mat 104 for now. Because that's the only course that we have on ground. So guys, just check out this video, please. This for calculus. Make sure you watch the video completely. I think that's all for now. So guys, it's nice having this online class session with you. So I'll look forward seeing you tomorrow. Probably I'll message you on my Google Classroom. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I'll make sure I get back to you guys. Okay, I'll make sure I give you feedback. So
Yes,
immediately when
sir.
I receive
So we can
the
have a class tomorrow.
you have a class tomorrow, class or what do you say?
No, we can have class with you tomorrow again.
Actually, that tomorrow will be very, very tight. My timing. I also need to take jam by students tomorrow. Those that are doing jam tomorrow night. So
Okay,
tomorrow
sir.
night can't really work. That's why I said I'm going to tomorrow morning. I'm going to make a pre-recorded video for all these
Okay,
remaining
sir.
questions. Okay, then I'll send it to you guys. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
at least with those
Yes, sir.
videos and the solutions I've dropped so far, then you still be able to catch up for the exam. I think that's all for now. So guys,
Yes, sir.
take care and have a wonderful, nice night ahead. Okay. All right. Take
Okay,
care,
sir.
guys.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye bye.